Hello, hello, wherever you're watching us from. My name is Mukami Wambora. This is the WRC Safari Rally Kenya 2024 channel, and we are on location. We will be talking to, I think I've decided to say part-time driver, rally driver, and he'll explain exactly why. We are seated down with Joe Kariuki. He's taken part in the WRC Safari Rally 2 years in a row, and we're going for the three-peat this time.
Of course, we are going for the three. Yeah, of course we are. Yeah.
Now, we were speaking earlier, and you mentioned you spend more time as a farmer, but I want you to first take us back to rallying. How did you get involved in that? You know, what brought it to the forefront for you?
I think from when I was a kid, you know, I remember because I grown from Naivasha. So we used to see all those cars, and I remember I used to get my dad to take me there throughout, and I told him one day I want to be a driver. And he just laughed off. He said, a boy from Naivasha, we have never even had anyone from Naivasha who have been a driver or anything like that. And, you know, I'm from a village, so it was like something crazy. And then 2017, I decided, you know what, I want to start driving, you know. And I bought my first car. It was an Subaru N10. And I met this guy, he's called George. So he was my navigator. So he started training me. And I thought, wow, I can be a good driver, so why don't I give it a go? And that's how it started. So I started doing, you know, like, I didn't autocross, that's where anywhere. Actually, all the drivers have to start there. So I started autocross, and then I started doing the national rally. And from there, it's history.
And has your father now managed to watch you now?
Oh,
how did the story end?
Actually, he's the biggest fan, and that's why I cannot miss WRC, because where I was born, it's around 1 kilometer away from where KWS is.
Yeah.
So even from our home, you can see all the
cars passing.
Yeah, you can see all the
cars. You have the best views in the house.
Of course. So I have to do it, and you know, I love racing.
Yeah. And for you, I'm sure there's a lot more nostalgia, because when you used to watch the WRC, it was during Easter. Now it's back Easter for the first time.
I know. I can't believe. You know, it's more even exciting about Easter, because I'm like thinking, God, you know, my dad used to get me new clothes, you know, to go and watch that. And this year I just thought, I'm gonna buy myself a new whole thing. Yeah, a new whole thing. So I've ordered a new whole thing. I thought, I'm not gonna race with, you know, with whatever I raced last year. I'm just gonna change the whole thing.
You change your whole suit.
I'm gonna change the whole suit, you know,
as
helmets,
an homage
everything.
To Easter.
Homage to Easter. That's what I'm trying to do. Because I miss those days, you know. Yeah.
Now, all the time in 2022, you came in 8th, I believe. Then in 2023, you came in 6th. And then we hear Joe Kariuki during the rally, we don't hear him again. Joe Kariuki comes in during the rally, we don't hear him again.
Oh.
What happens that you're not taking part in the KNRC? Why don't we see you in the period between the safari rallies?
Oh, it takes lots of your time. You know, it takes lots of, you know, my time. I would say my time, because, you know, being a farmer is a 24 hours thing, you know, and I'm farming Laikipia. So living in Nairobi, I don't live in Nairobi as much as I used to. So it's hard for me, you know, to leave the farm, come to Nairobi for a few days, do the recce, do all those things, scrutineering.
Go to Eldoret.
Go to Eldoret. It's a lot.
Go to Bipingo.
It's a lot. But what I'm saying is, if we can get serious sponsors, because most of the time we sponsor ourselves, but if we can get serious sponsors, I think everybody will be racing. We'll take our time, you know, because you need lots of money to do these, you know. If you're not getting the money, what's the need of doing?
So you're talking about sponsors. What sort of message would you want to tell them? What sort of support does Joe Kariuki need, like practically?
We need more sponsors, yeah. We are new drivers here, you know. Before we used to get huge sponsorship. These
This
days,
is when you used to watch
yeah,
it.
when I used to watch, and I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. But when I go into the game myself, nothing like that. The only thing you get is water.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we get sometimes.
Do you feel that that really affects Kenya's ability to compete? Because I'm sure back in those days we would see the likes of Patrick Jiro
Sure,
competing
sure. I know.
with the
Yeah.
international drivers
Very
coming
true,
in. Do you
very
feel
true.
that has affected it?
It have a lot, a lot. And I don't understand why, because if you think about it, the viewership now of WLC, it's huge, it's humongous. But I don't know why they don't want to give out a sponsorship. If you think about it in Kenya, you'll find out it's about 4 or 5 people who are getting sponsorship. Yes, we get, but we don't even get the money to do anything. So we're just helping.
Ideally, what would you want to use that money for? In an ideal world or perfect world, you've been given a bunch of money. What would you want to use the money for?
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. There's lots of costs. Think about tires. Think about fuel. You know, think about accommodation. You know, for you to race at WLC, like me last time, I had like 10 people. Accommodation for 10 people, it's a lot of money. You have to pay them, their mechanic. On top of that, the spare parts. You need to have everything. You need to have gearbox, you need to have engines. So they cost millions of money. So you need to have that.
Yeah.
But when you get a sponsorship, what they do, they brand your car and they're like, yeah, we paid for the branding of the car, which costs nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I can do it. Even I can do it myself at home. So they need to understand, you know, about the sports more. I think the sponsors don't usually understand, you know, about the whole thing about the sport. What they understand, yeah, you can brand the car, it'll look nice, and you know, I can put billboards, you know, but it's not good for me.
There's a lot more that goes
Yeah, sure,
into it.
sure.
I know for you and I guess your dad watching,
Sure.
your improvement in the WRC has been really inspiring.
Sure.
What would you attribute to the fact that this year I was 8th, this year I was 6th, but
Yeah.
now like that continuous
Sure.
striving to improve? What would you attribute that to?
Consistency and believing in myself. That's one thing. And actually talking to my friend like Lisa. I talk to her all the time, and
This is Lisa Christopher.
yeah, Lisa Christopher. She's a good friend of mine. I've known her for years. So talking to her and making me believe I can be a good driver. She's a very good inspiration, you know, when it comes to racing, and it keeps me going. And I'm like, wow, I think I can drive. I think I can be good. I think I can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before we leave the topic of Lisa,
Sure.
I'm sure there's something very important that you'd like to share.
Yeah.
With regards, we spoke to her a little earlier and she talked about her initiative Driving for Change.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
you can give a bit of what your role will be in that.
Oh, Lisa called me and she told me she have an initiative to treat cancer. You know, she have been part of that. I know her journey. I've been tough for her because as a friend, I know what she was going through, and I've known her. And the first thing I told her, if you have said something, I believe it's this. I'm gonna support it 100%. You know, whatever it takes, how we can raise money, you know, awareness. I'll do it. I'll do it. You know, whether it's for free, whether we are not going to get sponsors, I'm ready to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's being a really good friend.
Yeah.
And you've talked about difficult moments, you know.
Sure.
Those are difficult life moments. What about for you while you've been competing? What are some of the difficult moments that you've experienced whilst rallying?
There's lots of difficult moments all the time. You know, I can't even mention it. It's like
Think of the most difficult.
I think you know what. You know, you're talking about in sponsorship or when you're racing, you know.
Yeah, when you're racing.
I would say the weather. Usually, that's the most difficult thing. I hate.
That it's too hot in the car or when it starts raining?
No, I would rather it rain throughout. But driving, when you're driving somewhere like Kedong, it's the craziest thing, you know. It's the craziest. I've never done anything like that. And I was like, there was a time, not this year, the year before, I told my co-driver, you know what? I'm not gonna do it again. It was so hot.
Yeah.
We couldn't breathe. And I was like, I'm not getting paid to do this. You know? Why should I push myself until, you know, I'm dead?
Yeah.
We'd rather not do it. But at the end of the day, I have good friends. They say it's okay, it's part of the whole thing, the whole experience. So I think that's the hardest thing. I think, you know. But the most lovely thing to see is the fun.
Yeah.
When you see this fan watching you, you're like, yeah, I have to do it. You know, I cannot let these guys down. So it's the beautiful thing.
So that's your most memorable moment, just watching all the Kenyans. I hope
crazy.
everyone's listening. The drivers
sometimes you don't
on
see them.
Yeah.
We'll see them maybe when we are on transport, you know, transport, when we are going to start the race or something.
Yeah.
That's when you see the humongous people like everywhere and you're like, wow, these people are watching all of us. It's crazy.
These people are like you when you were young.
I know. So it feels so good. And I'm hoping to inspire, especially people from my town, to be someone like me. And it can be done if I have done it. Yeah, because when I mean I've come from a village. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. That's one thing I can believe on that.
And what sort of ways would you want to inspire young kids? What are some of the things you'd tell them if they're seeing you and they're like, I want to be like him, I want to get to where he is? What are some of the things that you can tell them?
It's to go and get it. You cannot stop. Don't, you know, nobody should stop you. Nobody should stop you. Just go and do it. Just go and do it. You know, for me, when I started, it doesn't mean you need lots of money to do it. You know, but I just bought a car. It wasn't that even great, but I pushed myself. You know, I pushed myself, you know, and you get support from here and there. And that's what have helped me to be where I am.
Yeah, once the performances start coming, the money starts coming as well.
Yeah, actually, you know, I have seen it. You know, before I never used to get calls, like nobody, because nobody knew me. So we used to write letters, you know, from morning to evening. Yeah, we want to do this, we want to do this. So it's kind of cool. I'm getting people call.
We're calling you, Joe, we want to sit down
for
an
like,
interview.
yeah, can you do this, you know? Right now, it's not a problem of calling, it's a problem of money. Discussion of money, which is good. Yeah.
Your performances have kept improving.
Sure.
This year, what are you aiming for, the 2023 rally? Now that it's in your favorite time of Easter.
I know.
The fans will be more the fans you love so much.
You know, I'm gonna try my best to beat myself.
Okay.
That's what I can say.
I like that.
Yeah, I just want to beat myself. That's what I can say, and that's what I'm gonna do.
So position 5 or better is what you're aiming for this year.
As long as I can be myself, what I did last year, I'm good. Yeah.
And in terms of rally, because we've talked about it, you're a farmer by profession, which is very time consuming.
Sure.
In an ideal world, if you had all the money, would you be keen to take rallying full steam ahead, KNRC, Africa Rally?
100%. I'll do it throughout. It's my dream. It has been my dream ever since, you know, to drive. And I didn't expect, you know, even to be a good driver. I thought I can drive, but I didn't expect myself like to be, you know, a good driver in the country. But I think I'm heading there. I'm not the best, but you know, I'm trying.
No, people, I don't feel like it's being captured how amazing that you've done so few rallies and you're achieving so much.
Yeah.
And last year particularly, you used a left-handed
for the first time in my life. I've never drove a left-hand.
How was that experience? What even brought that about that you ended up in a left-handed car?
Yeah, what happened is I had a car before that. I had an Evo 9 before that. And I thought, okay, let me sell this. I want to upgrade to a better car. And from that car used to belong to Don Smith. You know, he's a veteran. And I thought, let me upgrade to something faster than this. So I upgraded to N14. And by bad luck, it was left-hand drive. So when I went to see the car, I was like, now the gears, you know, I'm not used to the gears on the other side. And my co-driver was like, it's normal, you know. And let me tell you, the first time I drove that car was we were at Jamhuri, what was it?
The Kasarani, is it that the
Yeah.
super special
That
stage?
was the first time I drove the car. So the first thing I was like, okay, where are we heading? So the co-driver is reading the notes and I'm like, left, right, I can't tell now. You know, I can't tell, you know.
I wish I was a fly
Yeah.
in the wall of that
Yeah,
car.
and the crazy thing is when I'm driving left, so I'm always like thinking I'm falling over. And I'm like, God, I think we're gonna, I'm gonna crash or something. So it took some time, you know, to get used to it. Day one was very tough. Day two, so the last day I tried to catch up, you know.
Yeah.
And it was crazy thing because I'll talk about Tanasha, you know, Tash.
Yeah.
She encouraged me, you know, a lot because she was catching up with me throughout, you know, and she was like, next one, I'm gonna catch you up. So I was doing my best because she's a veteran, she
Yeah.
have done it, she have won. And I was like, I'm gonna do my best to make sure she's not gonna beat me on this. So it was a tough, there was competition.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't competing with other guys, but I had someone to look, you know, after and say, I'm gonna try and beat her this
Yeah.
time, yeah. So it was good fun.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
interesting. So this year, what's the car this year? Is it the same
It's the same
left-handed
car. It's the
Now
same
you've
car.
had more practice with it.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
From when the
So,
2023 Safari Rally
WRC
switched off, you've kept it somewhere.
kept it somewhere.
And now 2024 WRC, you'll unveil it.
Actually, you know, we started working on it last week. So we didn't even work for it. We started working on it last week, and let's wait and see. So I'm waiting for next month to come and see what we can do.
I think before we leave, I just want you to maybe leave the people who are watching with a parting shot. People who are on the fence on whether or not they should come for the Safari Rally. What would you say to encourage them to come?
Oh, especially this year, I'm like so committed, especially because of Lisa Christopher, whatever she's doing. And I would like maybe the whole country to support her, you know. It's a crazy, crazy good initiative she's doing, you know. I don't know why, especially us in Kenya, the moment someone starts something, they don't usually get huge support until something is big. But what I can ask people is to get on it before it gets big, yeah? Because it's not for her own sake, it's for other people's sake, you
Yeah.
know? But a lot of people, maybe they're thinking, yeah, it's Lisa Christopher trying this, blah, blah, blah. But she's doing for the others. And I want everybody who be, especially at WLC, to support the initiative. You know, I'm supporting it. You know, I'm like #1 supporting it. So we expect everybody else to support it. Guys, they can even do T-shirts. We can sell T-shirts. We do whatever it takes, you know, to help this initiative. It could be like the biggest thing. You know, we have been talking about trees planting. Well, it's good, but I think this is bigger than that. You know, when we're talking about people's life, I think
Kids,
it's important.
kids
And we're
will
talking
come
about
to-
kids. So I'm like thinking this year, well and good, we are going to be planting trees. But I'm trying to talk to Lisa, maybe we can do T-shirts or whatever. And everybody should have that. To save one kid, whatever. Yeah, I think we should do that. Yeah.
And lastly, because you've had first-hand experience coming from Naivasha
Sure.
of watching the rally in Easter, for those people who are wanting to feel the same, can you describe that feeling and sort of get them excited to come and watch the WRC?
Oh, it's exciting, you know, especially for those people, you know, who like cars. Even those who don't like cars. The party, you know, can you imagine Easter parties, what will happen there? So there's parties, there's the thrill of the car, the sound of the car, you know, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. For me, it's the speed, you know, I just love speeding, you know. It doesn't mean I'm telling people to speed. You know, I'm not encouraging
Watch
speed.
other people speed.
Watch others.
Professionals.
Yes, of course. Watch that and join it. You know, join. But join the right way. Yeah, that's what I can tell them. But it's fun. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having us. Thank you
Sure.
for talking to us.
Thank you.
That was Joe Kariuki. As I said, a part-time rally driver. He'll be taking part in this year's WRC Safari Rally Kenya, and we'll be waiting to see whether he can improve on his 6th position. We will be back with more at the WRC Safari Rally Kenya 2024. My name is Mukami Wambora. Ciao for now.